Greetings one and all, and we welcome you to the Halloween Let's Play, and that is going to be Uninvited. And Uninvited was part of the so-called ICOM trilogy with Deja Vu and Shadowgate. And let's just go ahead and get this started. Yeah, since this was the first one, the graphics aren't really as good as they were in Deja Vu or Shadowgate, but they do offset that by having a lot of things that are different from Deja Vu or Shadowgate. And I think one of the things that this game focused on was time limits for having to do certain things. And yeah, you can see we're in some trouble here. So since this is time sensitive, we are going to have to get out of the car. And I'll explain all the functions once this is done. Oh, that's a flashy boom. Our protagonist, forever looking on the bright side of things. So yeah, this is definitely one creepy mansion, and this is one of the first survival horror games, along with Sweet Home for the NES, or for the Famicom at least. And this game focuses more on getting past the obstacles that this game throws at you, as opposed to Deja Vu, where it was more about trying to figure out what was going on and putting the pieces together. And then Shadowgate was more about problem solving. So what we gotta do like a good citizen is take somebody else's mail. Because that's just the way a good person is. And either way, I probably should explain the functions now, since they are the exact same as in Deja Vu, but they were just words instead. And we're only gonna have to hit once, and we do have to speak a few times. Because unlike Deja Vu, where we got addresses, we get spells in this game. So things are going to be a little different. But at the same time, I hope this is going to be a fun Let's Play for everybody involved. So let's see what we got here. You kind of get a glimpse of the story when you end up reading the letter. And there are other things in the mansion that let you kind of piece together what happened in the past. I mean, with everything that went on in this mansion. And that is something we're gonna have to know. The undead will surely fear it. So yeah, once we enter there, we're gonna be in for some pretty tough times. And then once you take the pendant, the door unlocks. Yes, we are dared to enter. So let's see, let's just go ahead and get this closed up. And unlike Deja Vu or Shadowgate, most of the deaths in this game is going to be from some creature killing you. So that is something that does make things a little bit different. Yes, this is definitely an oppressive place. But either way, you get your functions: examine to look at stuff, open to open doors, use to use items, leave to ditch some items, and there is one item in particular that you are going to have to ditch if you took it by accident. But then there's take, close, hit, and speak. So let's just start off by going through this door on the right. And if you are having trouble moving something or to some place, it is easier to just use this thing. So let's just go ahead and read this. And yeah, the way to read things is that you just have to open the book and then just examine it. I mean, that's just one of the easy ways to get through with it. And yeah, that is important for just about any power. Well, you know what they say, with great power comes great responsibility. And then we get a bunch of spells here. And they are going to be pretty important just for progressing in this game. Because the way to progress in this game is a little bit different than Deja Vu was. Whereas you got addresses, this one focuses more on getting particular items to use them on something else. And so forth. So let's see, since there is something here, but we can't do anything with it yet, so let's just go ahead and get out of here. Yeah, something definitely is waiting to get us, so we're just gonna go ahead and go upstairs. And I do like this music. I mean, only this particular track, but outside of that, I don't really like the music as much as in Deja Vu. And one of the reasons for that is it just doesn't feel like it captures the atmosphere as well. I mean, the theme with Deja Vu definitely did a great job of capturing the film noir atmosphere. And then you can get some clues from the master as to what the hell happened here. And it turns out this Draken guy was a menace. And that's going to be a clue as to where we can find the key. But right now we can't do anything else here. So let's just go ahead and leave. And yeah, I am going to go through all the doors just to show you. Yeah, see, this is actually where we need to go to finish the game, but we're not going to do that right now. And then if you go here, you get to read Draken's diary. So then you get to learn like what a strong guy Draken is, but turns out he's evil, so we are gonna have to deal with him at some point. But I'm getting way too far ahead of myself. You can also find scrolls that can either give you spells or give you helpful hints. I think this one gives us a spell, but I'll just have to go ahead and check. And the reason I am doing this for Halloween is just because it is a good horror game or a good haunted house type of game. And I did mention during Deja Vu that I did mean to play through all three of these games. Or actually, I have a different project involved for Shadowgate, but we'll get to that when we get to that. And here's our master bedroom. And then you can see there's an old-timey radio here. So let's just go ahead and use that. Yes, because that's exactly what we need to worry about after crashing our car and our sister's missing. Which is actually kinda odd because in the Mac version you actually played as the older sister and you're trying to find the younger brother. Which I don't really know why they made that change. And speaking of making that change, here's a ruby. Stay the hell away from it, because it turns out this thing is cursed. So I'm not gonna show off what happens here, but there are plenty of videos out there that will. And see, that is another difference between the Mac version and then this one, was that once you entered the house the curse set in, so you had to move fast or you were dead. And we can get ourselves an axe here. Yeah, the axe has one of the most unusual uses when it comes to like the way it's used. I mean, you would think you would have to use it on a or on an enemy or something, but that is not the case. But I'm getting ahead of myself. And there's a cage for some reason. Well, that ain't good. And we don't know what's going on there, so let's just go ahead and follow him. And yeah, this is the music that plays when you're gonna die, so just make sure you know that, and that's kind of like an oh shit music. Which is what I like about it, because it just leaves you thinking, oh shit. But let that be a lesson to you kids. When the creepy skeleton man says there is no escape, there is no escape. And for the most part, the deaths in this game aren't, really that. I mean, they're kinda obvious with some of the traps, but in that case, if you're dumb enough to fall for that one, then that's your own fault. But like I said before, most of the deaths in this game are gonna be from something else killing you. So let's just go ahead and take some stuff here. The ones we're gonna need are this, well, actually, the freaking hit detection, this spider cider. Although I do wonder how many entomologists are out there. And I did look up that word yesterday, and it turns out it's scientists who study insects. But then again, with all the pesticides running around with all the environmental changes involving pesticides and all that other stuff, Could be a dark time for insects. So what we're gonna need are the spider cider and the no ghost. I wonder if the people who did paranormal activity could have used that no ghost. Actually, wait, that wasn't a ghost, that was a demon. What was I saying? Or what was I thinking? But now that we've taken care of pretty much everything we can in the upstairs part, let's just go ahead and get back. So let's just see where else we can go. And then that's new. Yeah, by the way, if you try and open any other door, she is going to kill you. And in my opinion, this is one of the most bullshit deaths in this game, but I'll just go ahead and talk to her. And this is probably the most bullshit death in this game, but if you use the no ghost without opening it, she ends up killing you. So yeah, this is probably the first way that people die in this game, and this is definitely one that will give you nightmares if you're not prepared for it. Although I should mention, I also like the game over music. It like lets you know that you really fucked up, but there is still hope. I mean, something like that. Well, let's see, now we gotta take care of her. And see, what we gotta do is just open up the no ghost. And then get back in there. And then why that works on her, I have no idea. But that is one thing we are gonna have to do with a lot of the obstacles in this game, is that we do have to use something on an enemy, otherwise that enemy kills you. And speaking of which, we're actually gonna find another thing here. So let's just go ahead and get inside. Or get outside. Yes, this is a very desolate estate. And I do like the animations in this game. I mean, they do a better job with it than in the other games. Like the way they animate the spider, and they also animate a couple of birds. So let's just go ahead and leave the railing sticky, and then come back and see what that spider's up to. And then once the spider reaches a certain point, then it gets paralyzed. So you know what, I don't really feel like letting this thing, or leaving this thing out to die, so we're just gonna go ahead and take it. Yeah, this game is a lot less intuitive than Deja Vu was, but then again, some of the solutions to these things are a little bit different. But that is some of the stuff that this game isn't really as involved as Deja Vu was, but it is still fun in my opinion. I just don't like it as much as Deja Vu or Shadowgate, but I'll get into that more at the end of the game. Although I like this, his scientific name was Ugliest Maximus. Let's see, I think I either had to go... No, I don't have to go this way. And of course our protagonist happens to be concerned about animals. But we do need that cage, so let's just go ahead and get that. Although this is my favorite part. Yes, we now have to question the reliability of our senses while watching this creature boogie down with an with a key in its hand. Although I do like that music. I think a lot of people do, actually. And here's a fun little Easter egg: if you try and use the gramophone, you get the Shadowgate theme. And then that stops after a while. So let's see, yeah, I need to go in here. Yes, because that's exactly what we should be thinking about when we're trying to... or when we're locked away in a creepy-ass mansion. Let's see, we do need these flowers, so let's just go ahead and take that. And this is one little hint you can pay attention to if you examine the painting. There's a bird flying off with a snake. that is something we are gonna have to know for a little bit later. So let's see, we gotta go in the kitchen because we've gotta take a knife. And for what you think, the knife actually isn't gonna be used to attack any creatures. But instead you're going to have to get something with the knife. And then, see, while we're here, let's also get some matches. And then outside of that, you don't really need much else here. Although pewter's always good. So let's see, yeah, I think if we go here, that's the next clue that we get. So let's just go ahead and do that. And then it turns out that this was actually the servant's room. How you can figure that out from a lack of dust, I have no idea. But then if you examine some of these things, you get different stuff. And then gray here with a brush. Although I like this. Although Axe body spray never came up with horse trader. But then if you try and open this, there's nothing in there. That's why actually one of the good things about this game is that if nothing's in there, you just close it automatically. So let's see, we just gotta turn on the light here. And reveal ourselves a secret. Uh-oh. And it turned out that this was the servant that I think Draken killed. Or he must either killed him or he guess he condemned his spirit to those chains or something. I have no idea. Although there's him doing his best Gollum impression. Leave my precious alone. But it's a well-known fact that butlers are afraid of spiders, so let's just go ahead and use this on him. Although I want to know, actually trying to visualize this happening is just making me laugh in the inside. And hopefully that makes some other people laugh out loud. And it dissolved because of a spider. Yeah, this is a odd game when it comes to solving things like that, but well, you gotta do what you gotta do. And it can be a little frustrating because the ways you do end up dying, you normally wouldn't think to use a spider on a butler. You would think to use the no ghost on it or something, but I mean, the good news is once you use something, you don't have to use it anymore. So let's see, once we get that, we're gonna need this card. And that card is gonna be a clue as to where we can find a key, or something to get the key. So let's just go ahead and look and see what's there. And then we get our chemistry lesson on the periodic table of elements. And that is actually going to be a clue for a, as I've said before. But that is one thing that's good about this game, is that you really do have to pay attention to the clues. And you do have to use them to your advantage. See, there is one more thing I gotta do, then I'm gonna go ahead and call it. Let's see, what was in here again? I think this was... Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what makes sense. Let's move. Yeah, there's one more thing I gotta do here. And that is that I gotta examine this chair. And then this is where the key was hidden, so let's just go ahead and slash that open. So let's see, let's just go ahead and snatch this. There are a couple of things I'm gonna have to get done with this thing, but I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go up here and then call the video. So join me next time as we... Actually, let's save first. But yeah, that's a good place to stop for today, so join me next time as we progress further into this mansion and hopefully get closer to finding my sister. See you then!